Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim Watson speaking on Tuesday the 16th of February. So looking at news coming out today, well, there isn't any of any significance. We've obviously got another, China's still on their week spring holiday. Australia's monetary policy minutes were released at 12:30, so that's it for the day. So let's have a look at the technicals then. Daily wise, Euro. Well, yesterday it just continued in this very tight range. Seeing another little pincer top at the moment, but of course this current bar is open. Let's have a look at what we can see there then. Is it going to roll back towards its weekly pivot? It's possible. It did just pitch above yesterday's highs there. Very tight range in price action at the moment. Maybe a break of the trend. It would give us some opportunities at the downside, but as I say, it is very rangy. There may even be a tight old support coming in around that 2150 area as potential anywhere along those prior lows. So there certainly is some support in that way. At the moment, looking at this 60-minute chart, so you've got these sort of higher highs coming through here more recently, so higher lows still popping through. So maybe that's the case, but we'll see how the next hour comes through. Certainly not a clear one. The pound. So the pound's yet again this morning made yet another new high recently, all back to 2018 I believe at this stage, but yet another new high, but again having a bit more of a reaction to that. In fact, if you look at the 4-hourly pound at this stage, it does look a tad on the bearish side with this sort of these two effectively chimney top, pipe top, whatever you want to call it. It's certainly there. Selling off at this stage. Support wise, well, daily pivot sits below there at 38.90, so there's a potential. It could of course run its ground in this session. If it has, well, look for it to build off some support from this 60-minute 21, but certainly in the short term there at least does look a bit more bearish. Yen, well, has continued to push up north, and well, I don't see much of it. I mean, I'm sure we'll get some retracements. We may get a retracement back off this sort of level here, but overall I think with some of the longs being unwound here, particularly seeing the big money running out of the yen, we could just see this continue in the cash markets as well. So potentially a continuation to follow on this. As I said yesterday, I'm in a sort of position long on the yen and expect further upside short term, just coming down to the 60-minute here. Not much to say really on this, it's just consolidating on these highs. Might have a bit of a correction again. If it does correct, it could come all the way back towards that daily pivot there. Already caught the weekly pivot, so that's ticked out of the way, so any sort of correction may come back in that direction. Aussie dollar. Well, Aussie continued the push up here on the dailies again, made new high this morning relative to where it had been. It's not as back in terms of its earlier highs there, but gradually moving up. But again, we're seeing this sort of sell off this morning. We've seen this through all the markets so far, but the dollar strength may be pitching back in for now at least. This has come all the way back to its daily pivot. Be interesting to see if we get bounces off these areas. Well, it's already tried back there at 5 o'clock, had a bit of a bounce, but come back to test it again. No divergences there or anything. We'll see as I say how it sort of shapes up. At the moment, it's still very much a rising trend, but just see how what happens from here. I'd rather be on the long side of some of these pairs, but patience may be needed now. Dollar CAD, lower highs, lower lows here. It has this morning again another one that's just made a sort of a new low there, and then turned around a little bit here, and we've got this sort of these reversal bars sort of kicking in there. Maybe a bigger correction in store this morning. We've got the daily pivot untouched above there, and this may just be after this sort of long run down over the beginning of the week here, may just be a bit more of a correction. Okay, Canadian dollar, New Zealand dollar briefly. Just looking there, very choppy again. It still managed a new little high, more recent high there. but again, well, it's very choppy. Sorry, it's 4 hourly, very choppy. Again, we've seen this current sell-off. This current sell-off, we'll just have to wait and see how big a sell-off it is. Of course, it's again, they've all had, well, I say all had. This certainly had a bounce. Some of them haven't had a bounce actually. The Aussie and the New Zealand dollar both having bounces on their previous candles there, but again, price coming off here and just seeing the strength coming through maybe of the dollar at this stage. Again, untouched daily pivot below. Okay, let's have a look on the bigger time frame of some of these cross pairs. Aussie yen is a regular request. So let's just look at that. It's still pushing up strong there. In fact, let's have a look at a few of these. The pound yen as well. Again, it's okay. It's having a bit of a correction at the moment, but it's been continually to push through here. This one, retail traders have been selling it short for quite some time now, and each time it just gets pushing into a new highs. I think only when they give up will we see this actually give up, but it may be bearing showing the signs of a bit of a retrace at the moment. Certainly on the 4 hourly we may see that coming through a bit further. Aussie New Zealand dollar is one I was looking to get in. May still, I've got an alarm set there to see if it pulls back far enough. Really looking for that, see if we get a bounce off that weekly pivot there. So just waiting for that to happen. Okay, that's most of the majors and some of the cross pairs. If I look at the S&Ps. All right, new highs. More new highs this through the Asian session there. However, again, we're seeing a bit of a sell-off at this stage, a bit of a correction coming back there. So same old picture right the way through these markets. At least they're correlated. Again, just have to wait and see if this rolls over more. It may just give opportunities for buying at a later stage. Okay, gold. So gold, well, wasn't really doing quite so well, and yesterday just not managed to do too well at all. It's just stifled a little bit and just consolidated. You can see how it is on this 4 hourly chart. Shows really good consolidation. Maybe a break of the trend line below. We'll see it roll over. It has still got an untouched weekly pivot above, which might just draw it up first, but as I said, a trend line break may see more to the downside. Just a quick look at silver, where it sits relatively daily wise. Well, that also has pitched up and doing exactly the same thing. Well, actually, it's doing better at the moment. Beg your pardon. It's pitched up higher than prior highs there. It's actually did shape up a little bit better. You see, it's just sort of pushed out a little bit more. Still in that slow trend, which is fine, but again, I say big correction, but significant correction relative to what the recent movement. Quite a reasonable correction sitting there. Again, it's maybe prudent to wait and see if this reverses here, and it may just get another step there. Don't know how many people are intraday trading silver, but it's much more of a, for me, gold, silver. They're sort of generally more swing type currencies, precious metals. Finally, oil's just been shoving, and well, this morning it's not really moved too much, but yesterday it did get another move up there and push on, and well, it doesn't look like there's much scope for it to do anything else at the moment. However, it's, well, perhaps just after yesterday morning's shove on there and this consolidation, maybe it'll pull back towards that weekly pivot, but still not enough there really at this stage. I was just looking yesterday, actually, you just see the trend line here just to see if it broke that trend line, but well, it's not really confirming anything on the bigger picture here yet of any sort of retrace, and at the moment it's still a buy, I guess. Okay, that's pretty much that for currency, for the bitcoins. It's just a quick look at Bitcoin. Bitcoins are cryptos, that's what I was referring to. I'm not entitled to that all of a sudden, so I'll need to have a look at a different chart here, just see what's happening. I'll describe what's happening. So Bitcoin's made new highs this morning. Today it's already run up to the 50,000. Bit of a retrace at the moment, but Bitcoin has made some new highs there. Ethereum sitting around its highs, consolidation just up a tad today, and XRP, Ripple, that too is seeing a little bit more consolidation and a bit of a bounce so far. So sorry, just don't know why the data just disappears like this. It happens. That's it for me. I wish you a great day. Silver weekly. Oh, sorry. Let's just have a look at the silver on a weekly point of view. Well, it's double topped. Yeah, I see what you're probably looking at, sort of double top from a couple of weeks ago. But it's edging its way back in that direction. We had its perhaps that was the correction. I should imagine people will be looking at the divergence that sits across there. I think that may be divergence in place, but realistically, I think with the time that's taken between the two highs there, and the fact it's come out consolidated and it's really moving at this moment in this sort of gradual path upwards by looks of things. As I said, it may manage to get back towards that $30. That's what a lot of the banks are suggesting. Always risky when you look at what they're suggesting, but at the moment it still looks like there's a gradual path to be had there in that direction. Maybe not as fast as it was running. Okay, that's it for me. Good to see some of you there. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the morning. Bye for now.